Hi, welcome to my channel. Today I want to share with you a talk of Mr. Buffett back in 1998. He was addressing the students at the University of Florida. And the video that I'm taking this information from is a 1 hour and a half long. I encourage you to go and check it probably when you have time. I'm going to leave a link in the description. But here I have compiled only 5 minutes or so of what I think are the basics of the basic concepts that he discusses, and those basic concepts are necessary for anyone that's starting investing and wants to be a successful investor in my view. So let's get to it.
Time is the friend of the wonderful business. It's the enemy of the lousy business. If you're in a lousy business for a long time, you're going to get a lousy result, even if you buy it cheap. If you're in a wonderful business for a long time, even if you pay a little too much going in, you're going to get a wonderful result if you stay in a long time. I mean, if you're right about the business, you'll make a lot of money. And the timing part of it is a very tricky thing. So I don't worry about any given event if I've got a wonderful business. The wonderful business, you can figure out what will happen. You can't figure out when it will happen. You don't want to focus too much on when. You want to focus on what. I like businesses I can understand. We'll start with that. That narrows it down about 90%. I mean, there's all kinds of things I don't understand, but fortunately, there's enough I do understand. And it's a simple business. It's not an easy business. I don't want a business that's easy for competitors. So I want a business with a moat around it. I want a very valuable castle in the middle. And then I want the duke who's in charge of that castle to be honest and hardworking and able. But all the time, if you've got a wonderful castle, there are people out there who are going to try and attack it and take it away from you. And I want a castle that I can understand, but I want a castle with a moat around it to keep away competitors. And that comes about through service, it comes about through quality of product, it comes about through cost, it comes about sometimes through patents, it comes about through real estate location. So that's the business I'm looking for. Now, what kind of businesses am I going to find like that? Well, I'm going to find them in simple products, because I'm not going to be able to figure out what the moat's going to look like for Oracle or Lotus or Microsoft 10 years from now. And that's the way I think about business. I say to myself, give me $1 billion and how much can I hurt the guy? Give me $10 billion. Give me $10 billion and how much can I hurt Coca-Cola around the world? I can't do it. I buy a farm and I don't get a quote on it for 5 years, and I'm happy if the farm does okay. But people buy a stock and they look at the price the next morning and they decide whether they're doing well or not doing well. It's crazy, because they're buying a piece of a business. That's what Graham, the most fundamental part of what he taught me. You're not buying a stock, you're buying a part ownership in a business. You will do well if the business does well, and if you didn't pay a totally silly price. And that's what it's all about. You ought to buy businesses you understand. Just like if you're buying farms, you ought to buy farms you understand. The question about what's going to happen to interest rates or where we go in the world, I don't think about the macro stuff. What you really want to do in investments is figure out what's important and knowable. If it's unimportant or unknowable, you forget about it. What you talk about is important, but in my view, it's not knowable. We have never either bought a business or not bought a business because of any macro feeling of any kind. We don't read things about predictions about interest rates or business or anything like that, because it doesn't make any difference. I mean, let's say in 1972 when we bought See's Candy, I think maybe Nixon put on the price controls a little bit later. Let's say we'd seen that. But so what? We'd have missed a chance to buy something for $25 million that's earning $60 million pre-tax now. I mean, we don't want to pass up the chance to do something intelligent because of some prediction about something that we're no good on it anyway. So we just don't read or listen to or do anything in relation to macro factors at all. Zero. What you're looking for is some way to get one good idea a year, and then write it to its full potential. And that's very hard to do in an environment where people are shouting prices back and forth every 5 minutes and shoving reports under your nose and all that. Because Wall Street makes its money on activity. You make your money on inactivity. I mean, if everybody in this room trades their portfolio around every day with every other person, you're all going to end up broke, and the intermediary is going to end up with all the money. On the other hand, if you all own stock in a group of average businesses and just sit here for the next 50 years, you'll end up with a fair amount of money and your broker will be broke. You want to stay away from any environment that stimulates activity.
So that's it. That's my take at trying to come with a compilation of this 1.5 hour talk. I think that these are the basic concepts that anyone that wants to start investing and be a long-term and successful investor should apply. Of course, there's tons of information in books written about Mr. Buffett and also in his letters to shareholders. And this is only the very basic concepts. But I think that they are very important. I think that if you start applying these concepts, you are already halfway into becoming a great investor. At least that's what I think. I hope that you find this short video useful, especially in times like this when we have lots of different macro events going on, and that can distract us from the main goal, which is, I think, investing in wonderful businesses, as Mr. Buffett always points out. So thanks very much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a like and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I see you soon for another valuation video, probably in a couple of weeks time. Thanks very much. Bye bye.